Welcome back. You're watching Beyond the Headline. Now, after days of uncertainty over the Anna Bhagya scheme, the Karnataka government has moved the rice pot. One of the Congress's five-fold promises, the Anna Bhagya scheme, guarantees 10 kilograms of rice for BPL workers, BPL card holders, out of which 5 kgs comes from the central government, and the state government was to give an additional 5 kgs. Now, the state cabinet has decided to provide cash instead of that 5 kilograms of rice. This decision comes as the Siddaramaiah government has faced challenges in procuring an adequate supply of rice from various sources. Under this new arrangement, beneficiaries will receive an amount of 170 rupees based on the standard rate of 5 kgs of rice set at 34 rupees per kg by the Food Corporation of India. This will cost the state government 800 crore rupees per month. The Anna Bhagya scheme became a flashpoint between the state and the central government when the Food Corporation of India refused to supply the required quantity of rice. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah claimed that FCI initially committed to provide the required rice but later backtracked. He alleged it was a deliberate attempt to disrupt the scheme. In response, FCI clarified that it had halted the supply of rice to all states under the open market sales scheme to control rising prices. Ever since, the state government has been accusing the centre of throwing a spanner in the works to resolve the situation. Now we have seen this alternative coming in.
ಯುರೋಪ್ನವರು ಬಸವರಾಜ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆಯವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಲೀಡರ್ಗಳು ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ರಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವರು, ಇದು ಬಡವ್ರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಪ್ಪ, ಬಡವ್ರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡ್ಡಿ ಬರಬೇಡಿ. ನೀವು ದ್ವೇಷದ ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒತ್ತಡ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ. ನಾನು ಶಾ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಶಾ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ KH ಮುನಿಯಪ್ಪನವರು ಪಿಯೂಷ್ ಗೋಯಲ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಫುಡ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ನನಗೆ ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. FCIನವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮತ್ತು ಫುಡ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು.
Totally 10 kgs, 5 kgs rice. In remaining 5 kgs cash. Into 1 kg into 34 rupees, 10 rupees something. So up to available rice 1 or 2, 3 months. After that I will give rice only 10 kgs.
All right, so this is supposed to be an interim arrangement, but has a kind of a political crisis been averted by the Siddaramaiah government? To speak more on this, Anand Gurumurthy is joining me. He's spokesperson of the BJP. BS Arun, senior journalist, is with me today. Dhruv Jatti, spokesperson of the Congress. Dr. Deepa Sinha, right to food expert, is also with me on the show. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us this evening. Dhruv Jatti, let me come to you first. We've had these conversations in the past, and this is the solution that has been found. Do you think it works beyond the point? You've promised rice, you're going to give cash.
Tamanna, sad to see that they pushed us to a corner in which, we were left with no other alternative but to resort to, giving cash in hand so that the hungry people of Karnataka are in fact, are fed with the rice that we had promised with our poll promise. And I think the crux of it remains that it's a humanitarian issue, and the fact that Bharatiya Janata Party goes on to politicize it is what I would say deepening this humanitarian issue further. Like I say, the crux of it is very simple. We're keeping up to the promise that we had given during the election, poll bounds, and yeah, it's sad that the Bharatiya Janata Party pushed us to such a corner.
Okay, Anand Gurumurthy, you've pushed them to a corner, but does it in fact turn out to be better? I mean, after all, the direct benefit transfer sort of program or strategy is something that was implemented by the BJP. That instead of giving you 5 kgs of rice, we're giving you the money equivalent. The government, the central government has done this with gas cylinders, with various other forms, and they have adopted it as well.
Tamanna, basically, Congress people are a bunch of liars. And this, the Karnataka people have understood in the best possible way. They lied during the elections. They lied in their manifesto. They continuously lied later, saying that the BJP is stopping them from procuring. So basically, they come on TV and also lie. So they're a bunch of liars, and they should accept that. Instead of, telling some lies on TV in their manifesto and every other place they can go and tell, and then crying, saying that, okay, people are hungry. Why didn't they really do what had to be done? In fact, just after the election, when Siddaramaiah ji took oath, immediately he went to the mic, held on to the mic and started telling, oh, I will give you rice. On June 1st, everything will be done. What was the necessity? He could have taken time from people and, continued whatever he wanted to do. No, they clearly knew, even while putting this in the manifesto, that it will be difficult to implement.
No, but
because
Mr. Gurumurthy, have they not? No, one minute. If the attempt, if the plan
Tamanna,
was
if you
to.
don't let me answer, I cannot complete. Please give me one more.
No,
minute,
but I
okay?
have let you answer. You have
just
answered
1 minute,
uninterrupted.
So 5
Yes.
5 kgs of rice that the central government gives to every person, and 15 kg to a family. Okay, it is
Right.
according to the scientifically accepted standards. But still, Congress went on to say they will give 10 more kgs per person. Let me tell you on record, Tamanna, this is on record. They have been telling in all their election speeches that 5 kg per person, what the center was giving, they will give 10 kgs extra to every person in the family, which means 15
No, so what
kgs
is the
per
issue?
person, which was
If a
totally
democratically
unscientific.
elected
And
government wants to give this,
now
what
they're
is the
telling they
issue?
can't procure. No, Tamanna, please, you have to listen to me, because this is
Tamanna,
the
I'd like to
important
comment
point.
on
Which
No,
we
this.
have
I
been
am
telling
only
from the
listening
past
to you,
months,
Mr.
and you
Gurumurthy, but
suddenly
you are
for
not
stopping
coming to the
us,
point,
you are
sir.
letting the Congress persons
See,
speak the
Tamanna.
lie, while you are not questioning
No,
the lie.
you spoke.
You are
Your
stopping
time
us
on
from
air
being
so far
speaking
has
the
been
truth.
3 times of
So,
his. You can go
Tamanna,
back and check.
No.
No,
It's
Tamanna,
very important
this is not a
that
question
they have
of
to
lies,
accept that they have been
because
telling
1 minute.
lies.
On
They
this
have
show,
to get
everyone
sorry.
speaks
They have
one
to
by one.
apologize
Dhruv
to the
Jatti, 1
people.
minute.
Instead,
Yes.
coming again and again, they come telling lies, and then they tell to the people that BJP is stopping them. It is their inability to do anything. It is their inability to even
Okay.
think and put
Can
something
I
in the
ask a
manifesto.
question,
And
Mr.
finally,
Gurumurthy,
they are
or are you
killing people.
expecting
And
this
that's
to
what
be
is
a
important.
monologue through the show?
No, it's
Can
not a
I ask a
monologue.
question, or are you expecting this to be a one-way street?
Please go ahead and
Okay.
ask.
So my point is that whether they are doing it with good intention, bad intention, was 10 kilogram needed, is irrelevant to what I have asked you. It's irrelevant. They came to power on 5 poll promises. One of them was that we will give you this Anna Bhagya scheme. They could not do it. They are blaming the BJP. They're saying you put a spanner in the works, so we'll give you cash instead. Doesn't that work out better for them, was my question to you.
That
in
was
the
what I
eyes
was
of the
answering.
voter,
In the meantime,
they
you
are
interrupted,
getting what
Tamanna.
they asked for.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me answer that, right? See, 15 days ago, BJP also gave the same suggestion to the CM. You know what he told? He laughed at us, saying that you people are doing something, not in the interest of people. We told them very clearly, till you are able to procure, go ahead with the direct benefit scheme. But they were not ready to accept that at that point of time. Now they have come to the same situation. This is their situation always, Congress. They will only come up with big ideas.
So this is an interesting twist.
In fact, many of the
This is an interesting twist. Dhruv, did the Congress take the BJP suggestion? Did the Congress take the BJP suggestion?
Of course, Tamanna. In fact, the one who even suggested about giving cash
So are you
in hand
giving
was
them credit for this idea?
The Congress party is a party that listens to the opposition, unlike the Bharatiya Janata Party. If they were the first ones to initiate the fact that cash should be given in hand, we are more than welcome to do it, because the Congress party is a welcoming party, unlike the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now I have to respond to Mr. Anand's so-called lies, because I don't see where that comes into the picture anywhere, because two promises fulfilled within the deadline, as simple as that. And the Bharatiya Janata Party must own up to what happened with the FCI. Mr. Anand, what happened on June 12th? What happened 24 hours later on June 13th? That you go on to speak about lies over here? Where's the question about where you went on to betray the people of Karnataka? And the Bharatiya Janata Party, a party that, sadly seems to be so elitist in nature, speaks about how much rice that BPL card holders should eat. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to put into picture?
You don't want to accept
people who hold BPL cards,
you just want to come and blabber here with some unscientific things.
Listen
No,
to me
Anand,
first.
come on,
okay?
let's not get close to Anand. I'm speaking.
Okay, 1 minute. I want to go to someone who's actually an expert on this particular issue. This is an interesting. 1 minute. Settle down, Mr. Gurumurthy. Settle down. I want to go to Dr. Deepa Sinha. 1 minute. I'm going to go to Dr. Deepa Sinha on this exact question. How much rice should a BPL card holder get per month? Is there a scientific measurement of how much is required? Is it 5 kilograms? Do they need 10? Should they be getting 15? The claim is that the promise was actually 15. 5 plus 10. The Congress is saying now we'll give 10 per month per person of a below poverty line family. What is the requirement? And is there any scientific, research into this and any report which earmarks how much is actually needed?
Yes, Tamanna, of course there is. There is the Indian Council of Medical Research has its guidelines for nutrition for Indians, which on an average works out to 10 kgs per person because it depends on age and sex and so on. So it is 14 kilos for an adult male, 7 kilos for a child. So on an average, it works out to about 10 kgs per person per head. And 10 kilos was something that was given nationally for 2 years, let's remember, from 2020 to 2022 under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana as a COVID relief. So it is not as if 10 kilos was never given before. We gave it for 2 years and then it was stopped. So it was a continuation of that is being proposed. And from what I understood I don't live in Karnataka, but from what I understood from the news was that what was promised was this additional 5 kgs, like was being given for 2 years. So if you go by the nutrition guidelines for Indians given by the government body, 10 kilos is not at all unscientific. That is exactly what the requirement is.
Okay, so 10 kilos, but what about 15 kilos? The BJP spokesperson on the show has claimed that the initial promise was 5 plus 10.
I am not sure what the promise was, but if you go by the guidelines, the requirement is 10. And just to add that this is not all that a family requires. For a good nutrition,
right,
you would also require pulses
protein,
and
sauce,
oils and vegetables and so on.
Yes.
So if you have
yes,
access to basic cereal, then you have the money left to buy other things.
All right. One more question, Dr. Deepa Sinha, which I think is important and, specific to what we're discussing today. The solution that the Karnataka government has come up with right now from 1st of July to give 170 rupees instead of the 5 kgs of rice. Typically, does that work? Because the question mark with those kind of direct benefit transfer schemes is, will that money be utilized by the family for what is required? And who gets that money?
So there is, of course, this is the second best option. The best would have been to directly give grains, right? And that is what we have seen. But if that is not possible, I think then giving some additional support, because this is the time, let's remember, when there is unemployment, when families have still not fully recovered. And therefore, this question of what will people spend on, there are a lot of studies to show that the poor continue to spend on useful things only. They might not buy grain, but they will buy other food items. They might spend it on health and so on. But we must remember that this is the second best. And I was happy to hear that they're saying that this is temporary. This is not the season for procurement. So hopefully, once the harvest happens and it's the procurement season, then they can shift back to grain.
Okay. Mr. Gurumurthy wants to come in for a quick response. Yes.
Yeah, see, basically, we also had suggested that go with millets available in Karnataka. They can procure from the open market millets, okay, which is available in Karnataka, so that Karnataka farmers are also benefited, and also the people get better nutrition, as Dr. Deepa Sinha said. But that also the Congress, I don't know whether they're considering or not. I just wanted to put in that point.
No, but that's an interesting thing. But culturally, for the people of the state, will they start replacing rice in their diets with millets?
Tamanna, please, Tamanna, our state doesn't eat only rice, okay? Our state has millets. Dhruv Jatti is also from our state. Okay, we all eat a lot of millets in Karnataka. It's not just rice.
But no, but is it correct to replace? Can you replace rice with millets? I don't know. I don't know.
Tamanna. And in Karnataka, let me just tell you, since I've got an opportunity here, Tamil Nadu eats more of rice items and other things. But in Karnataka, there's a lot of millets. Even there are a lot of meat eaters. Even there is jowar, ragi everywhere. Okay, so it's a state where a lot of millets is eaten.
No, I'm sure it is. But the question is, can you replace rice with millets? Should you nutritionally do that? Does it work for the people who are receiving it? We'll have to go into that. Okay, I'm going to come to Mr. B.S. Arun. Thank you for your patience. I want to understand from you, what is the political impact of this? Because we've already seen right at the start of the Siddaramaiah government's tenure over here, it has been head-on over a variety of issues. And rice has been, that one political pot that is boiling. Do you think that the Chief Minister has managed to swerve that sort of attack by at least giving something out on the 1st of July? Even if it's not the 5 kgs of rice, it's cash?
Yes, I think it's a win-win situation, both for the Congress party in the government as well as for the beneficiaries. Why? Because, number one, the government now says that, look, from July 1st, we had promised and we are giving. At the same time, they can point a finger at the BJP and the central government and saying that, it is they who have sort of, thwarted this, the beneficiary scheme, which was planned by the Congress. So there, I think on this count, the state government is going to, going to town on this, especially in the election year. Number two, according to one estimate, I believe the state government is going to save some 60 crore per month, because they won't be giving the market price of rice to the beneficiaries, and instead they will be giving at 34 rupees a kg, which is the rate at which the FCI, Food Corporation of India, had procured the rice. So there also, they are not giving the market price, but they are giving at 34 rupees a kg, which means that, they are going to save on this count also. And over and above the FCI rate, I think the state government was to spend about 2 rupees 30 paise for the transport of each kg of rice. That count also they're going to save. So this, I think, is a win-win situation. And for the consumers, for the beneficiaries, I think they would be unhappy in not receiving rice, and they would be happy in getting cash for that. I only hope that there won't be any sort of controversy from here on about the receiving of the money by the people. That they have got this much money, they have not got so much. I think state government will do a good job.
I think with that element of scrutiny, with that limit of, with that extent of scrutiny, it will be difficult to mess up. Hopefully it will. A quick word from you, Dhruv, before I wrap.
Tamanna, I have 3 quick points. I'm not going to get into a monologue like the others. First point, the narrative remains. Okay, quickly, all in one. The narrative remains as to where the Bharatiya Janata Party cheated the people of Karnataka. And lastly, who is the Bharatiya Janata Party to decide on what Kannadigas are going to eat? Who are they to decide on how much rice Kannadigas are going to eat? What have to say that Kannadigas are going to eat 5 kgs of rice? And who is...
Stop this, yeah, come on. Who are we or who are you?
Anand, come on, Anand, you're an extremist spokesperson. Don't embarrass yourself.
He's frozen also. His feed is also frozen. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I want to close this. I want to close this by just saying this. Dhruv and Dhruv Jatti and Mr. Gurumurthy, I want to close by just saying this. If this is indeed a suggestion by the opposition in the state which has been taken up, that's great. That's how democracy should work. If they are giving the government a tough time, that's great. That's how democracy should work. The opposition should keep the government of the day on their toes, and that should be the case everywhere, in states and at the center. Just on that note, at the end of the day, we hope this is in the best interests of the people of the state, because that's what eventually matters. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us today on the show.